It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the PWHPA professional hockey player, Alexis Woloschuk. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional hockey?
So I think for me as a female, it was a little different probably than most. I was approaching the end of my NCAA career, and I was kind of faced with that decision of what's next. And at that time, I saw the opportunity overseas to go play professional and been contacted by a couple teams. So I decided to pursue that path of playing professional hockey. At that time, it was overseas.
What was it like getting to play for Boston University?
It was super special. Yeah, I was there through, I think we were part of a dynasty with hockey's championships. It's a super special program. They really care about their players. Coach Brian DeRocher is awesome, and there was a lot of legacy when I came into that program. So I was super grateful for that experience. Lots of good things to say.
How is that like, obviously, being a part of that championship dynasty?
It was really cool. It's cool because you're kind of a part of history at that point, right? And I think anytime that you get to be a part of history, it's exciting, and you get to be with some of the alumni and just share a really special moment with the program and your teammates, and also, I mean, your family too, kind of celebrating how proud they are of you and you being a part of something like that. So all around, it's a special time when you get to be a part of history in that sense.
What was that feeling like of getting to put on that Boston University red jersey?
Uh, it was, I remember the first time, it was really special. I mean, obviously, that's a goal that you look towards as a little girl for a long time. So when you finally get to the NCAA and you do get to put on that jersey, I think it's special no matter what team you're with. For me, I was pretty aware of Boston University for a while and knew about their hockey program, both the male and female side. So for me, when I did get to put on that jersey, it was pretty special, and it's a pretty proud moment all around for myself and my family, I think.
What was that experience like of getting to play with Kaylee Fracken?
Super good. Yeah, Fraddie's awesome. She was one of my good friends at BU. She is a hard worker. She holds herself to a very professional status, I think, on and off the ice as a player, and just a really fun human to be around. So lots of good things to say about her, both on and off the ice. But I think she's also just an incredible player, and I think you can see that now too, as the career she's carved out in professional with her.
Of course, what were some of your biggest accomplishments besides obviously the dynasty of championships?
With Boston University.
Mm-hmm.
So we won a couple Hockey East, like I said. We did get to go to Frozen Four twice. We got to go to the tournament. That was pretty cool. I think personally for me, I was always on the academic Hockey East team, which is really cool to be a part of that. I was a big proponent of also getting my education there, so that was nice. And I honestly think just like being able to play with those players, I would call that an accomplishment in itself, just being able to be in that environment and surrounded with that. I think that if there's one thing that I look back on and I'm super grateful for, it's the relationships and it's the players that I really got to play with that stand out to me.
What was it like coming out of college, getting into professional hockey, and how did you decide to get into the CDHL?
So coming out of professional hockey, or sorry, can you repeat that for a second?
Mhm. Coming out of college hockey, what was it like getting into professional hockey and getting into the CDHL?
Yeah, so coming out of college hockey, and coming out of, I guess, so for me, I spent that year abroad first. So coming out of professional hockey in Sweden, coming to North America, was a decision that I kind of had to make there. And I think that for me, coming into the CWHL was really special because you got to be close to home, right? I think when you're in your home country, it's pretty exciting. You get a lot of your friends and your families able to come out to come out to games to support you, and it's just really exciting to be able to kind of be in that environment again, with your loved ones nice and close. And also for me, that meant that I got to pursue some of my career outside of sport as well, which was really exciting for me, and I really wanted to get started on.
What was it like getting to sign with Markham Thunder?
Yeah, that was pretty special. I know at that time Chelsea Purcell was the general manager, and it was an exciting time. My family was super excited for me. Chelsea was awesome all the way through, so it was a flawless experience. And the Markham Thunder were a great organization while I was there, and we had a really good crew of girls. So I'm pretty grateful for that experience. And obviously, they helped me transition over to Toronto, which was a new city, and I fell in love with. I'm still here, so it was a pretty exciting experience.
What was that feeling like of getting to put on that first professional hockey jersey?
Uh, yeah, that was cool. I think also just signing my first professional contract when I was going overseas was a really cool experience. And then it all kind of comes to life when you get to put on that jersey and you're out there, and you're ready to go for a game day. I think that it's special. It's something that you grow up, I guess, dreaming of playing professional hockey, even as a female. And when you get to accomplish that, I think when you get to accomplish any goal in life, it's always pretty special, and a moment that you definitely won't forget.
What were some of your biggest accomplishments during your time in the CWHL?
Um, we did win the Clarkson Cup. I would probably say that's the most notable. That was really cool. We were at Rico Coliseum in Toronto too, which was awesome. So I had some friends there. And I would say that if there's one that stands out, that's probably it. I think winning a championship is always exciting. And for me, that was my first professional championship. So it was a lot of fun, a really cool experience, and just amazing to be a part of in our hometown.
What was that feeling like of obviously hoisting up the Clarkson Trophy?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a special feeling, and I think that um, it's just exciting that you get to be a part of it, right? And again, it's that piece of history, and it's in your hands, and it's that feeling of accomplishment that you did it, and you came together with this group of women, and we accomplished that goal together, which makes it even more special to be able to share that with your teammates.
What was the moment like of signing your contract with the PWHPA and playing in the PWHPA?
Yeah, the PWHPA is a pretty special organization. Obviously, we are trying to create a sustainable future for women's hockey. So I think that um, when I became part of that, that's really when my career shifted to be more than just myself, and more than just about me as a professional athlete, but also about the next generations and what we could do as a group together, to create a promising future for the sport. So I think that when I did choose to come over to the PWHPA, I think it was a pretty life changing experience just from a perspective point of view, and it really changed your perspective on things to be a lot bigger than just you as an athlete.
What was your time like at the Gate East,
At the what? Sorry.
GTA East?
Oh, in the PWPS, PWPHA. Sorry. In the PWHPA, it was good. That was the first year there in the PWHPA, and it was a special experience. I mean, the first showcase I remember was in Toronto, which was also pretty cool. Again, anytime you're in kind of like your hometown with a team, I think it's always very special. And to open up that tour, that Dream Gap tour in Toronto, on that GTA East team. I think it was pretty special and pretty exciting for all of us to just come together after what had happened with the TWHL and kind of had that same sense of team there, but with a new mission. And in our hometown, I don't think we could have asked for a better start to the PWHPA.
Of course, as you talked about being in the hometown of Toronto, what was it like when you got to sign with your hometown team?
Um, so I wouldn't say Toronto's my hometown team. I'm from Winnipeg, but in the sense that it is probably the closest team, I guess, to my hometown. Well, maybe, but I think regardless, it was still very special. And Toronto is now somewhere that I consider kind of like a home. So it was pretty a cool experience to kind of embark on that journey of unknown. And now, if I look back at it, I'm pretty grateful for the experience all around and that I found this city and just the community I did there and the teammates I found. And it stuck. And like I said, now it's pretty cool because I do kind of get to call Toronto my second home. And I'm incredibly grateful for that and the city and all that I've experienced here. So.
What was it like getting to put on that blue Toronto PWHPA jersey?
Yeah, I think that, like I said, that was kind of like the moment that signified that it was real. I think that first time you get to put on a jersey in any team, and it's real when that happens, right? You pull on the jersey and it's official. It's happening for the PWHPA with the mission behind it, and just it being a lot bigger than us. I do think that was a pretty special moment because there was so much more than myself behind it. So from that point of view, it was a different experience than any other jersey I'd worn because at that point it was kind of I was proud about myself as an athlete, what I had accomplished, and that I was embarking on that new journey. But this was I was also proud of just what we were doing collectively and what this meant for the future of women's sports. So I think that moment that it all clicked was extra special when I did get a pull on that blue jersey.
What does a typical showcase look like in the PWHPA?
Yeah, so right now we will typically fly in all the Canadian teams to a showcase and at least one of the American teams this year is how it's worked. I think both American teams may be at the next one. I'm not 100% sure on that. But typically all the teams will fly in. So we are all stationed in different cities and they will host the showcase in one location. So this month is in Ottawa. So we'll all fly in to that city. And we typically all have one game to start with playing each other. And then after that, we will go on to the finals there, which is for keeps. And we come out with a championship out of every showcase. So it keeps it pretty competitive. And when the stakes are high, and it's pretty fun and exciting to be able to get together in one city and make an impact on the community that we are in, showcase our talents there, and ultimately do what we love.
What is it like, obviously, going to the showcase and only being able to compete that one time versus not having like typical games?
Yeah, so I think that it's a different experience, obviously, right? You are training for showcases, you are amping up for the showcase instead of consistently playing games. So it's a little bit of a different experience to what I had experienced prior in the NCAA and even overseas. But it makes it that much more special when we do head over to those showcases, and it's just that much more preparation goes into those weekends because you do get that one opportunity to showcase your talents and your team's talents, and ultimately the better the sport in general, right? We want to showcase. So I think that there's that much more preparation that does go into those weekends, and also it's just that much more special when we do get to have those showcases and make a big impact in a small amount of time.
What does a game day routine and rituals look like for you?
So typically my biggest thing is probably sleep. So it starts with that. I will make sure that I get a good sleep the night before over pretty much anything. And then after that, I would say I make sure I'm hydrated, get a good meal in from a ritual perspective. I always have to do some form of off-ice warm-up. I usually put my right elbow pad on first. That's a little ritual I have. And then once we do hop on the ice there, my one superstition is probably that I tap both sides of the gate before I go out, no matter what. And that's kind of from a ritual perspective, all I got going on. I know a lot of players, it's a lot more than that. So I'm not that particular, but I do have a couple things I got to get checked off the list.
What is it like getting to meet your fans and getting them to obviously take your autograph and take photos with them and see them wear your jersey?
Yeah, it's always special. It's always cool. I think that at that moment you really realize that you are inspiring the next generation, and you kind of hold the privilege to do so. And with that, I think it's special, right? Because that's, especially now with the PWHPA, a big part of why I do what I do and why we all do what we do. It's for that next generation, and it's for those young girls to be able, or even boys to be able to inspire them at the end of the day. And I think that at that moment, or those moments, it's special because you kind of come full circle and realize that you are doing that. And yeah, it's just a special moment.
What has it been like, obviously being able to balance being a professional athlete, but also coming out with a clothing business?
Yeah, so I have a wellness app here where I'm working on clothing in the hopefully near future here. So, but coming out with my own, having my own business and a wellness app, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of hours. It's been not enough hours in a day, but it's special when you get to create something based on your passions, based on your experience, and really pour your heart into it. So I think that for me, it's been incredibly rewarding. It's been a lot of hard work, but I am incredibly grateful that we have launched now. Our app is up and running, and we now are just working on the future and the improvement and just expansion of the company. So it's super exciting for me, and I'm grateful that we're off the ground now. So it's exciting.
What is that like, obviously having that wellness app where obviously some of the workouts that you do as a professional athlete for the PWHPA, you can share with the world?
Yeah, I think that's it's super special. You know, for me, when I created it, I really wanted to take the train smart approach that athletes take their entire life just with training, and encompassing kind of a holistic wellness app with mental performance, nutrition, and training, to just give people the same caliber of care and have it in their pocket with them. I think that was my goal, is so that I truly believe that every person should feel good, and I think that they should strive to be their best at whatever they do. And that's kind of where I came up with the lineup. And it's a bit of a cross between how I trained my clientele before I had launched the app as a personal trainer, and also just like what I've been through as an athlete, and what I've learned, and my nutrition background and all of that. So I think that I kind of put it all together in this app, where hopefully people can see the benefit in really just performing at your best and feeling good while you do it.
What advice would you give future college hockey players looking to play college hockey?
I would say take it day by day. I would say that it's not going to be easy. That's what I would say. I would say it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a challenge, but I would just make sure that you remember your core values and why you started and why you love the sport, and let that carry you through, and never take it quite too seriously, right? I think it's just enjoy yourself, take it day by day, do everything you can to be your best, and enjoy the experience.
What are some of your future plans in your professional hockey career this year?
Finish out the year strong with Team Sonnet. Right now for this year, yeah, we've got, I think, 3 more showcases at least, or 2 more at least, coming up here. So I think that short-term goal here is to get a couple showcase wins for Team Sonnet. That's for sure. I know that we have our sights set on that here in practice, coming up with that showcase in 2 weeks now, I believe. So that's the goal. That's the goal, is win a couple showcases for Team Sonnet.
What advice would you give those college hockey players looking to play professional hockey, whether it's the PHF or the PWHPA?
Yeah, I think put yourself out there. That's what I would say. I would say put yourself out there, communicate with teams, do your research. I would say those things, and then go for it, right? Like the other thing is, I would say, is don't be afraid of failing. I mean, if you want to make it happen, do everything you can, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I think that anyone who wants to do something bad enough should definitely go for it.
What advice would you give those professional athletes that are starting their own business like you did?
I would say make sure you're organized. I would say make sure that you have a clear idea of what you want to do and how you want to do it. And then I would also say that don't be afraid of hard work. That's what I would say. And don't be afraid of failing. I think those two things go hand in hand. Don't be afraid of hard work, and don't be afraid of failing, because I think just like sport, those two things are going to happen, or failing is going to happen, and you're going to need a lot of hard work, more than you probably expected, to really make it happen and come to life. So I would say it's not going to be all fun and games, just as, your athletic career probably wasn't, but it will be worth it, and will be hopefully rewarding. I mean, we're still launching, so I can't for sure say it's going to be a big success, but I sure hope so. And so far it has been very just rewarding from a perspective of me being able to see it come to life. So
that's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
So you can find me at Alexis Wally, WOLLY, my first name, and then my last nickname there, and then on Instagram. And then what else am I on? I'm on Twitter, barely, but I am on Twitter at Alexis Woloschuk. And yeah, that sums it up.
Thank you again, Alexis Woloschuk, for your interview, and best of luck in your future in the PWHPA.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you having me.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Alexis Woloschuk, for your interview, and best of luck in your future in the PWHPA.
Thanks, Brandon.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.